Now that you know a little about the Horizon Report, let's get to the presentation. I will be highlighting 3 of the Horizon Report key trends and 3 of the significant challenges. First, key trends accelerating educational technology adoption in schools. There are 6 trends mentioned in the Horizon Report, but we will touch on 3 here.
Rethinking the roles of teachers. A fast trend driving educational technology adoption in schools over the next 2 years. As schools make the shift to more student-centered learning, they are also faced, as a matter of course, with rethinking the functions of teachers. In ideal situations, the teacher's role is becoming that of a mentor, visiting with groups and individual learners during class to help guide them while allowing them to have more of a say in their own learning. The Horizon Report states the key to nurturing the new role of teachers is providing them with a plentiful opportunity for professional development. I can see this being a problem in today's educational systems. Funding is limited and planning periods are not enough to cover the basic responsibilities teachers are already faced with. Increasing pressure is being placed on teachers not only to understand how to use these types of tools, but also to integrate them into foster more authentic and digital learning. Greater accessibility to the internet also continues to spark profound changes in traditional. Teachers are no longer the primary sources of information and knowledge for students when a quick web search is at their fingertips. Instead, it's up to the teachers to reinforce the habits and disciplines that shape the lifelong learners, to ultimately foster the kind of curiosity that would compel the students to continue beyond an internet search and dig deeper into the subject matter. Fast trend, driving educational technology adoption in schools over the next 2 years. We have a shift to deeper learning approaches. Many experts believe that learning by creating and doing will engage students in their education, prepare them for success in college and careers, and perhaps most importantly, help them develop a problem-solving skill that will endure throughout their lifetime. Deeper learning is a term increasingly used to describe a variety of approaches in which students gain knowledge and skills by investigating and responding to complex questions, problems, or challenges. By working on self-directed projects where students think critically and communicate effectively, students are mastering core academic content aligned with 21st century skills while tackling real issues in the community and beyond. Education leaders are working together to develop more professional development opportunities for teachers so they can integrate deeper learning in the classroom. Grants and free programs offered to the schools will help in the integration of this practice, but the time and effort from the teachers will make all the difference. The community will need to be on board to help kids get out of the classroom and into real-life environments. The teachers will need many resources in collaboration with fellow educators, and that will be a huge part of this process. Increased use of hybrid learning designs. It's a mid-range trend driving educational technology adoption in schools within 3 to 5 years. A renewed interest in online learning has taken place over the past few years, fueled in a large part by press attention to massive open online courses, but also by increased access to the internet and broadband services, and growing recognition that online learning can indeed add a value to most any learning environment. Hybrid learning models, which blend the best of classroom instruction with the best of web-based delivery, place a strong emphasis on using school time for peer-to-peer collaboration and teacher-to-student interaction, while online environments are used for independent learning. The effect in K-12 schools. Education leaders with limited budgetary and architectural options, for example, can bolster the traditional classroom model for years to come by incorporating hybrid learning designs such as the rotational model, where students alternate between one-on-one time with the teacher, individual and group work, and computer-aided instruction. In practice, hybrid learning is seen as a way to level the playing field for rural schools by providing more access to a variety of high-quality courses. The flipped classroom is a great idea of this. Teachers will spend more time preparing for the day, but the students will get so much more out of the lesson. Significant challenges impeding educational technology
technology adoption in schools, creating authentic learning opportunities, a solvable challenge, those that we understand and know how to solve. Authentic learning is defined by the EDUCAUSE Learning Initiative, typically focuses on real-world complex problems and their solutions using role-playing exercises, problem-based activities, case studies, and participation in virtual communities of practice. EDUCAUSE's report, Authentic Learning for the 21st Century, an overview suggests that authentic learning prepares students for the skills and knowledge demanded by universities and the workplace. While educators are slowly embracing the concept of authentic learning, there is a need for more concrete policies that will stimulate the interest of schools and help them guide throughout the process, from standards for defining and evaluating authentic learning to establishing safety protocol for off-site learning experiences. In order to facilitate authentic learning in their classroom, teachers continue to need adequate support to update their pedagogies and teaching materials. While initiatives such as Common Core standards and Establish convey an active interest from school leaders to implement authentic learning in STEM areas, more leadership is needed. Safety of student data, a difficult challenge, those that we understand, but for which solutions are elusive. Safety of student data has long been a concern in K-12 education, which is evident through legislation that has been passed to safeguard students and their personal data, such as the Federal Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act in the United States. As schools embrace technology and more learning takes place online and in one-on-one settings, researchers see great potential to leverage those digital learning environments to mine data, which can be used to decipher trends in student behavior and create personalized software. Schools around the world are adopting cloud computing to support adaptive learning, promote cost savings, and encourage collaboration, but sometimes the safety of student data is threatened when a third-party vendor provides low-cost software as a service in return for access to student data that they can profit from. With more people concerned about sharing their data through social media sites and their mobile apps, initiatives that aim to aggregate massive sets of student data and then work with third-party providers and vendors to develop educational solutions are experiencing an unexpected backlash that has all but stalled the progress in this area. As politicians, education leaders, practitioners, parents, and students become more aware of how students' data is being used and protected, cloud service providers must revisit data safety policies if they want schools to contract for their services. In order to ensure the safety of student data, teachers and students should be educated about how to select technologies and systems that are secure. Keeping formal education relevant is our wicked challenge. As online learning and free educational content become more persuasive, schools must consider what they can provide that cannot be replicated in other sources. It's no longer necessary for parents to send their children to school for them to learn. There are, however, valuable skills and attitudes that many believe can only be acquired in school settings. Work ethic and the ability to persevere through tough challenges, both social and academic, are reinforced in the formal education environments. What attitudes do students need to develop in their formative years? A number of schools leaders have highlighted grit, understood as persistence and resilience, as the starting point of the conversation. Keeping education relevant means policymakers and key stakeholders must come to an agreement on what skills can or should be fostered in school environments. This requires an overreaching vision that addresses the fundamental purpose of K through 12 as it relates to the learner and the path from childhood to adulthood. As teachers' roles become more multi-faced, their ability to manage social interactions in safe and productive ways is taking on more importance in the total school environment.